Welcome into the Next One's Network. Colin Brown alongside for another episode of Colin's Corner as we preview the Big 12. In today's episode, Pac-12, Big 10 already taken care of, working our way through the Power 5 before we hit the mid-major ranks. And we start with the team at the top for the past 10 years after 2018 losing the Big 12 regular season title, but should be back with plenty of star power, the Kansas Jayhawks. They're clearly one of college basketball's biggest winners of the offseason as well. Devon, Dotson, the freshman point guard, decides to come back, return for his sophomore campaign. And then the two key pieces in the front court down low, Udoka Azubuike decides to forego the NBA draft, and Silvio De Sousa was cleared by the NCAA after a long investigation. He will be back on the floor in 2019 and will form alongside Azubuike one of the best front courts in college hoops, let alone the Big 12. Another guy to keep an eye on is Isaiah Moss. The shooting guard transfers in from Iowa by way of Arkansas, where he had a brief stop this offseason before deciding to leave and head up to Lawrence. He joins the KU backcourt, will add quality depth and should be a big-time shooter, a guy to keep defenses on their toes, draw them away from the paint. A big-time shot maker here for Iowa the past 3 years, now finds his way over to Bill Self and the Jayhawks here in 2019 for his final season. After Kansas, the next team I'm going to point to is Baylor. Scott Drew will lead the Bears back to the NCAA tournament in 2019, and the key reason why will be Tristan Clark, a load to deal with. He is back and poised to be one of the best players in the Big 12. I think he will hit the national spotlight as well here in his final season on campus. And then Jared Butler and Mario Kegler return alongside Clark and should play bigger roles here moving forward for another year down in Baylor land. Now, two key transfers to keep your eye on as well. Davion Mitchell and star transfer point guard Maceo Teague will be key for the Bears moving forward. Teague, coming from UNC Asheville, a big-time ball handler, shot creator off the bounce, a guy who can fill it up. Watch out for him to fill a big role, to be that floor general for Baylor moving forward as they look to head back to the NCAA tournament. Texas Tech, the third team I'm going to hit on, lost in the national championship last year, just a few minutes shy of winning a national championship under Chris Beard. The Red Raiders do lose a lot. You have to look at Jarrett Culver, the lottery pick in the 2019 draft is now gone. But you look at returners, and there is guys to like, should play bigger roles. Kyler Edwards, the freshman from last season, I think he will emerge onto the national scene. David Moretti, a big-time three-point shooter, hit some huge shots down the stretch for Texas Tech. He is back in the fold as well. Chris Clark, the Virginia Tech transfer. He's the one guy I wanted to point out here. A big ad for Chris Beard, comes over from Vatech. He will fill an immediate role as well. And then incoming five-star recruit from Duncanville, Texas. That's Jahimus Ramsey, a big-time superb talent, major athleticism, should play a crucial role for Texas Tech as well. And watch out for the Red Raiders. I think once they get rolling, find their groove, and really start to gel, they will contend, be right there with Baylor and the likes of Kansas for a Big 12 title in 2019. Oklahoma State, the fourth team I'm going to hit on here in the Big 12, return all five starters, the only team in the conference to do that, and they have their sights set on making a return trip to the NCAA tournament here in 2019. The two obvious leaders, Cameron McGriff, the do-it-all forward, who really should improve alongside his numbers from 2019, and then Lindy Waters as well, who really showcased impressive abilities on both ends of the floor, alongside a top 25 recruiting class. So Oklahoma State brings in depth, although it is young. All five starters return, and then keep an eye out for grad transfer Jonathan Laurent, a big-time talent. He comes over from UMass and should help spread the floor for this team moving forward. I really like Oklahoma State here to be a top 4 seed in the Big 12 tournament and a top 4 team in the conference. It will be tough, but the Cowboys can get it done. Fifth team I'm going to hit on, Iowa State. The Cyclones boy, do they have some young talent on that roster for Steve Prohm and company. And you have to start with a freshman from last season who really impressed and had a big-time 2018 campaign. He's back for his sophomore season. Tyrese Halliburton, he will lead the way and continue to improve after a stellar freshman season. As mentioned, if Rasir Bolton is eligible, he will add quality depth in the backcourt as well. The big-time transfer from Penn State can play big minutes and really lead that team alongside Halliburton. Down low, Michael Jacobson, the Energizer Bunny, transfer from Nebraska, played a big role in 2018. The stats might not show it, but a big advantage for Iowa State when he was on the floor. And then keep an eye on George Condit, the 6'10 sophomore from Chicago. Didn't play much of a role in his freshman season, but he has great size, good athleticism, really can mature and improve into a shot blocker for this team moving forward. And then Prentice Nixon, a transfer that they get in as well, should play a big-time role for Iowa State. You have to throw his name out there after what he's done throughout his college career. So Iowa State looking to make another run for a Big 12 title, get back into the NCAA tournament. There's 5 teams. We've hit on half the league. Now let's check in on the other half here, starting with Oklahoma and Lon Kruger. So through 5 teams, now let's touch on the other 5 here in the Big 12, starting with Lon Kruger's Oklahoma Sooners. A phenomenal job down in Norman. He's already taken Oklahoma to a Final Four, and he has 2 big pieces returning here in 2019. Christian Doolittle, and then two-way big fella Brady Manek, who can really spread the floor. And keep an eye on Manek. I think he will really emerge as one of the best talents in the Big 12 this year. He has NBA size and potential. Can he put it all together in his final year on campus and play with enough confidence to possibly get Oklahoma back to an NCAA tournament, which would be a phenomenal ending to his career? Now, while Doolittle should improve as well and be a rim protector on the defensive end, as mentioned, you got to look at Manek as the leader offensively. And then keep an eye on Jamal Ben-Ami coming off the bench. Matt Freeman as well could make an impact immediately. And then freshman point guard will have to really step up and play a big role. Lack of depth in the backcourt for Oklahoma heading into the season. Davion Harmon will fill a void immediately for Lon Kruger and company. Should be a star talent coming into play, a 4-year starter for this Sooner squad, and Lon Kruger has the ability to coach him up and make him one of the best. So Oklahoma, a few returning pieces to really gel around. Can the Sooners make it back to another NCAA tournament here in 2019? Time will tell, but enough solid pieces to really like what they could be or their ceiling could be moving forward. Kansas State, the next team I'm going to hit on after 2 seasons that saw the Wildcats have major success, could come a rebuilding year in 2019. Bruce Weber's squad loses the likes of Dean Wade and Barry Brown, 2 major weapons over the past several years, and they'll lean heavily on Xavier Sneed and athletic guard Mr. Diarra moving forward. I think he will really step up, play a big-time role, and alongside Manek could be one of the most improved players in the league, filling that Barry Brown scoring role offensively. Defensively, he is a nightmare with his quickness and athleticism. Mike McGurl as well is back, and JUCO transfer David Sloan could or should play a role moving forward, but we'll see how well this K-State team adapts after some big losses in 2019. The guy at the top, as mentioned, Xavier Sneed, will be the focal point moving forward. Texas, the 8th team we'll hit on. Shaka Smart has had plenty of talent down in Austin, but really hasn't found a way to win in the NCAA tournament. He loses Jackson Hayes, a big blow down low, but in the backcourt, Matt Coleman and Courtney Rainey are back, so that is a good sign for the Longhorns. They have stability in the backcourt moving forward. The question now becomes, can Smart and his staff develop 2 4-star recruits that will be in the front court for the Longhorns if they want to contend for a berth in the NCAA tournament? Kai Jones and Will Baker, as mentioned, both 4-star recruits out of the state of Texas, staying home to play for the Longhorns. Can he get those guys to buy in and elevate their play quickly enough to make some noise in the Big 12? Now we have to check in on West Virginia, a really interesting story coming back here in 2019. Jordan McCabe will take over the point guard duties after James Beetle-Bolden opts to transfer. Saginaw Konate also out of the mix after declaring for the NBA draft. But keep an eye on Derek Culver, who should be a big-time talent, could be the most improved player in the Big 12 this year, averaged 11 points, 9 rebounds per contest in his first year on campus, decides to stay and regroup with Bob Huggins, trying to build a team to contend for a spot in the NCAA tournament. I think Culver will step onto the national spotlight. The tools, ability, length, size are all there. Now, can he put it all together with Bob Huggins at the helm at West Virginia to keep the Mountaineers relevant moving forward? And finally, we're going to hit on the TCU Horned Frogs. Jamie Dixon has done a fine job down in Fort Worth thus far, but 2019 will be a really interesting year for TCU. Desmond Bain, obviously one of the best players in the conference. He is back in the fold, but the question becomes, can Jamie Dixon find a supporting cast to put around the star guard? Kanoy Noy out of the mix. He decides to go play professionally overseas. And then Jalen Fisher, a surprising transfer as well. So a lot of rebuilding, regrouping to do. Surround Desmond Bain, who will have a target on his back throughout the season. Freshman PJ Fuller could come into the mix and play a key role as well, but we will see if they can lean on Desmond Bain enough and how well he can handle the pressure moving forward here in 2019. So that is it, the Big 12 preview here in the early portion of fall, late summer. Things still have to shake out before we hit the basketball season, but a lot to look forward to, a lot to like. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below, let us know what your thoughts are on the Big 12 and every conference moving forward as we scan the country, looking at the best teams, the best conferences, and finding out who will be the strongest suitors moving forward for the NCAA tournament here in 2019-2020. For everyone here, next ones, I'm Colin Brown. We'll see you next time.